This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
Welcome to the Accredited, powered by 10th year seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Ronaldo, and if you're not tired Christmas shopping or just tired being on the road, then are you even a part of the holiday season?
I'm John Mark, and traffic is insane. And I thought it was like shopping traffic. Who has a funeral Friday before Christmas? No. And block up the whole road with 30 black vans. There was like a whole police march on it. Like, I understand it sucks when a loved one dies or
Life
anything
don't
like
stop,
that.
John.
Exactly. Technically, life
does
stops.
stop. It's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about a funeral where life
Technically,
stops.
life stops. But don't block up traffic at 2:30 p.m. on a Saturday
Listen,
or Saturday. I'm talking about. I think today's a Saturday. It's Friday.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the difference between becoming an adult and us experiencing Christmas season completely different, right? Because we know what it was as kids. It was, okay, we just ain't going to school. We just hanging out with friends. And when you become a young adult, it becomes some very different things. But like now, it just seems like such a hassle. It seems like such a nuisance. And we did not intend to start this show by being the cranky old man. But here we are. I don't even understand when it happened. But it
happened
has.
when of the traffic that we had to hit today. Like
Not
that
just
automatically.
today.
I know it all
like,
week.
It's been like this, not just today. I feel like it was since we came back from
I feel
Philly.
like once Thanksgiving hits, though, like traffic's just dumb.
So it's just me and John in the booth today. Ricardo is off doing Ricardo things, being a company man with Everybody Wins Live, of course. And our wonderful benefactors, Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, is the reason you are listening to this wonderful program this morning, headed into this afternoon, as you no doubt continue your Christmas shopping. You know what? Let's put a positive spin on this, because I feel like we started with too much negativity. These people are in their cars listening to us as they are on their way battling this traffic, or as they are sitting.
Thank you.
They need takes. They need to hear about what has gone on this year in the year of sports. So, as our final show of the year, we are going to bring you the top stories of 2025. And there was a lot we could go through. We had to leave a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor, but we decided to try and make it into a concise 10 stories that we're going to get through and give you sort of a snapshot into what 2025 was, because there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on locally. There was a lot going on internationally. There are some that didn't make it. So I want to start, I like having OLIs on the list. So I want to start with the outside looking in for me that didn't make the top 10 list. And that was St. John's winning 3 basketball championships. I feel like
The dynasty?
the dynasty. I feel like it's a feat that is never going to be accomplished again unless they do it and win all 4. That was outside looking in for me.
Yeah, if they win all 4, then you have to put them in. I mean, they've had the
They'll be
dominant.
number 1 next year.
No, they had a dominant program for a minute now. Baker with the junior boys and senior boys.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And okay, that's what we do. That's what you do now.
Yeah, it's what we
You
do. It's
didn't
what
always
was
do
done.
it.
That's what we do.
Yeah, outside looking in, I survived a tennis match with my reconstructed ACL.
You're gonna go with the most recent thing that happened.
Yeah,
That is a fair outside looking in. Look, we don't just talk about this stuff. We do this sometimes.
sometimes.
We do this sometimes.
I was able to play the top junior player in the Bahamas.
I don't even know if we still consider him that at this point.
No, he's 17, so he have to be a junior player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's going to be a pro one day. The path through the Giorgio Baldacci Open Nationals went through me easily. Pause. But yeah, no, it was just nice being able to get out there after a whole year of not being able to do anything and actually feel kind of normal.
So let's go to our top 10 stories of the year, bringing you this snapshot of 2025. And I want to start with number 10. Number 10, playoff Buddy. This was a huge moment. We have been following Buddy Hield's career for as long as it's existed, right? If the people out there, you've been hearing his name, some people ever since high school. So we, up to this point, the meaningful games that he has played has been in high school. He's had meaningful games in Oklahoma where he advanced to the Final Four. There had been no meaningful games in the NBA other than the one game when he was in Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when the Knicks didn't play him enough. I mean, when
Philly
Knicks,
didn't play him enough, he had
yeah.
that one game against the Knicks when we said, obviously, well, this is what you should have been doing
From the
all
jump.
the time, from the jump.
Yeah, because he played important games with Team Bahamas. So,
Yeah.
like, let's put it this way. This game right here, playoff Buddy against the Rockets, Game 7, was his, I would say, professional, the most important game he's ever played. The most because Bahamas national team, he had some games that it was super important. One game from the Olympics made the Final Four. It's just like, this is the first time in his career in the NBA he was able to play a game that matters.
And if you look at where he started, so in New Orleans, we knew what that franchise was. We knew what that franchise still is.
Eat one more.
In Sacramento is much of the same. The last bastion of hope was when they lit the beam for a year, and then that kind of fell by the wayside.
Don't work no
But
more.
no meaningful games in Sacramento. Indiana didn't get good until after he left, and then they made an incredible run to the
Well,
finals.
they made the Cup championship that year.
There you have that. But still, no playoff runs to speak of. And then we mentioned the game in Philly. When he went to the Warriors, our immediate thought was not only will he have a cup of coffee in the playoffs, but he has a chance to have a sustained run. So we were excited just based on that alone. That was our first thought when he signed with the Warriors, right? Fast forward to this series against Houston. It's back and forth. They're going to a Game 7. The Warriors were banged up. People were in and out of the lineup. One game, it was Jimmy going off. And then it became Buddy's turn. And they had the whole Batman and Robin thing going on. I think this is where the whole Jimmy-Buddy dynamic really took off during this playoff run. But that Game 7 was just insane. And I remember us messaging back and forth while that was going on. And it seemed surreal that it was really happening. And this is the kind of game that you dream of as a kid. You in the backyard, you hoping that when this most important moment comes, you able to have like the perfect game. And that's pretty much what he had.
We all know that Buddy's a type of player, and I remember when he was playing for Philadelphia, and I went to go see him in Boston, and we were talking about it, and it was like you finally get to like get a playoff run, you know, like. But when I was talking, I said, "See, the reason why you're valuable to teams is because of the exact reason why what he did with the Warriors, because we all know that Buddy isn't getting minutes at this time, but he's always ready, and he could be that 9 for 12 guy." 33 points, and you're like, oh, damn. Like, he won us the game.
And that is the numbers. And it was really his first half, right? Because I remember Steph took over in the second half, but the first half, but he just
remember,
went
it's
off.
always how you start.
Finished with 33, obviously a playoff career high. Shot 9 for 12 from 3. Tied the NBA record for most threes in a Game 7 and made more threes than the entire Rockets team that night.
And you know why you knew he was going to have a good game? When he hit that half-court three.
Yes.
That was the moment. That was his moment. Like, oh no, Buddy is being Buddy right now.
Yeah, if only that carried over into this season, right? And it's almost as if they forgot everything about what happened there. Like you said,
I see his name's on the trading block. So again,
always on the trading block. Hey, listen, I'm not tied to, you know how I am when it comes to Bahamas in the NBA. I'm not tied to any of these franchises, but I just want him to go to a contender because, like we said when this happened, all I want them to do is play meaningful basketball. Thank goodness DeAndre Ayton plays for the Lakers, and we know he's going to play meaningful basketball.
And then we'll play meaningful basketball in the summer.
Of course. July is something different. All right, let's go to story number 9. You mentioned your comeback in tennis, but you had a whole lot of younger players, I would say. It was kind of a changing of the guard in tennis, and there was a lot to celebrate for national teams. And we're not going to,
There's a lot of names, but I would say this with tennis. since I'm apparently the tennis expert.
Apparently, you have to be the tennis expert between us two. I just learned of the whole scoring system today as we were watching you.
Incredible. But yeah, this is a positive thing that's happening in tennis. There was a point in time where Bahamas tennis was where Bahamas basketball was at the equivalent level of being at the top of the game in the region and always competing to, stay in the Zone 1 and World Group, right? If they were in the situation back then now, they would have been in the World Group more because, Davis Cup changed the system. But we have a bunch of up-and-coming tennis players now who are actually pretty good and should be helping the Bahamas advance to, higher heights in Davis Cup. It's hard to say that we're going to be getting top 100 players out of this. I think, personally, Gerald Carroll is going to be a great ATP. He's going to be on the ATP tour. He's going to be a pro. Like, easily, he's going to be, I think he has a shot to be top 100 in the world at a point in time. But these other guys might be top 500, which is still amazing. Top 1,000 is still amazing. But that's going to give us the opportunity to be able to start the Davis Cup chain reaction back, to be able to be like, hey, Mark Norris, Mark Merklin, Roger Smith days. And now, if Carroll is the number one, and then you have Justin Roberts and you have Delaney Nottage and Michael Major Jr. coming up, it's going to be something where we're going to be a team to be scared of.
You know what's interesting? You mentioned those big names of yesteryear, and I think what kind of drew people's attention with the Davis Cup and the Billie Jean King Cup teams this year is they brought back some names to captain the team. They brought John Antonis back, a name that people hadn't heard around competitive tennis for a while. So Antonis came back to captain that team that included Denali Nottage, Michael Major Jr., Dante Armbruster, Kofi Bow, and the Davis Cup team were able to advance to the next stage. It seems like we've always been in this fight recently, trying to advance beyond. I don't want to call it the bottom feeder level, but is that really where it is? At this point?
But you got to start from the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. No, but you got to
flagged.
Yeah, you got to start from the bottom, because
we move from Group 4 to Group 3.
Yeah, Group 4 to Group 3, and then hopefully you go to Group 3 to Group 2, and if you could stay in the Group 2 area, then you're doing pretty well. Like, you're in the top half of the world when it comes to tennis. So, but it's got to be the baby steps. I mean, we were in Zone 1 for, 11, 12, 13 years? So
but we had them dogs.
Yeah, we had them dogs, but I feel like we have the players that are going to be able to help us, get to what we have to do. And you know what the best thing about Davis Cup is? And when I was in Chile and I was talking to Davis Cup legend Patricio Cornejo, he used to be a Davis Cup captain, ATP Tour player, and he told me, and I told him about the players we have coming up in college. Some of them are in high school, and he said, that's great. If they're able to play now and get some wins under the belts in these lower zones in Davis Cup, it's only going to help them because they need the experience to be able to move up. Like, that's what Davis Cup half the time is, getting the experience to be able to, because once you get to, I think it's Zone 2, it's home and aways, or, you have to travel to a country to go play. And that's a whole different thing, because now you go into one country to go play, and you're not playing group play like how they're playing right now.
And on the women's side, you had the same level of success from the Billie Jean King Cup team, and they had that team. You had Simone Pratt, you had Sydney Clark. Those were the two mainstays of that team. And then, like you said, they also find a way to mix in some of the younger players. You also find a way to bring in those names that the people are going to hear from in the future, like a Jalisa Clark, Sapphire Ferguson, and they also brought back Kim O'Kelly. So there's always this kind of merging between the past, the present, and really the future. And this is the way that you need pretty much every federation to run, right? This is kind of what has to happen. And aside from everything that's been going on off the court, on the court, the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association has been able to put across some really good national teams at this point, and that's why they made number 9 on our countdown. Let's move ahead to number 8, and let's talk some minor league baseball. the race to the majors. Right now, it's Jazz. Jazz is our lone standout in MLB, and obviously we're going to get to him on the countdown as we talk further on. I mean, is he
number 30?
Is that a spoiler?
Spoiler.
You thought
alert.
we had 30 stories?
I mean, we could have, but
How long you wanted this show to be?
2 years.
Anyway, so number 8, we call the race to the majors because Jazz is not going to be the only one. We expect him to be joined very soon, and we have really 3 candidates right now that we think could get the call next year. 2 that really I feel should get the call next year. 1 I would understand if it comes the year after.
Yeah.
So we're talking Sebastian Walcott of the Texas Rangers, Christian Robinson of the Arizona Diamondbacks, BJ Murray of the Chicago Cubs. All 3 played in Double-A last year. Walcott, the youngest player in Double-A baseball, and continues the trajectory towards becoming a bona fide star. Christian Robinson spent the bulk of his season at Double-A, but moved up to Triple-A and was having the same level of production. So, I mean, we were saying it before the season started when he was on our podcast. We were saying it during the season, and he pretty much proved all the numbers to be correct. And then BJ Murray had a bounce back season, a tough ending to his 2024 when he moved up to AAA, but put up big numbers in 2025. 20 stolen bases for him. So Jazz may have did 30-30. BJ did 20-20 in Double-A, but I think those are the guys. We could have an unprecedented run, and all 3 could get called up next year.
Okay, so my take with talking the sources inside Major League Baseball.
Sources
you always got to say sources. Sources say. No, but I remember I was actually talking to Anton about it. And Anton, we were talking about Jazz getting called up, right? And it was before the COVID year. And we was talking about, Jazz getting called up, X, Y, Z. And he said, see, the thing with Jazz is when he gets called up, he's never going to get put back down. Like, that's how we have to look at players. Whereas right now, the only one I can say 100% that when they get called up will not be put back down is Sebastian Walcott, right? To me, Christian Robinson would be on the 40-man. He might get called up like Lucius got called up and then put back down in the minor, might fluctuate throughout the year until he get his, they make a trade or whatever it is. And I feel like BJ Murray is just a year away from, putting a foothold and saying, I'll be at spring training, I'll be on the 40-man roster, and I'll have a shot to be able to make the MLB.
Let's talk Sebastian's numbers. Hit 255, 13 homers, 59 RBI, 32 stolen bases. Like I said, youngest player in Double-A. Whether they play him shortstop, whether they play him at third, that's not really going to matter. We'll see how that one progresses. He was a 2024 All-Star Futures Game selection, did that twice, and also was named to the Fall League. And so the Fall League is kind of the natural...
pretty much there.
Yeah. It's pretty much an organization saying, you're one of our guys. We need you to continue playing after the season.
You know what the Fall League equivalent is?
Keep going.
I mean, we might talk about this later on. I don't want to spoil everything. But if you play in the summer league and play one game and then they bench you the rest, then it's like, they're good.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of the Fall League. So, but I mean, last person who played in the Fall League, Jazz played in the Fall League, right?
We've had quite a few Bahamians play in the Fall League. So Jazz has played in it. Lucius has played in the Fall League. Anthony Seymour has played in the Fall League.
But you know why the Sebas thing is like, he's so important. And I mean, I hate to only really talk about Sebas to a point.
I mean, we're going to get to all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But listen.
It's one of those things. He had a great game. And then they said his arm inflamed or whatever it was. And it was like, you're done for the rest of the time. And like, would they have loved him to play the entire time there? Absolutely. But they saw what he did in one game and said, you've shown enough.
Let's be real about how the baseball recruitment world works. He is an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if there's any reason, any inkling, like we said, all of this, the Fall League is just extra work for the ones who we already expect to get there anyway. If we just leave well enough alone based on natural progression, we expect him to get there anyway. So if we don't have to push it, then we don't have to push it. So he is going to be there. The Christian Robinson story to me is always going to be an amazing one. And he deserves a documentary on his own. But just for him being, and again, whenever his name comes up, I always have to remind people the Diamondbacks had number 1 and number two Bahamians in terms of their top 30 prospects. And Christian Robinson wasn't number 2.
No,
Christian Robinson was supposed to be the guy in the majors right now, was out of the game for a few years, fought his way all the way back. And you see why the Diamondbacks were so willing to hold on, because whether he was in AA and they gave him the test to see if he was going to continue that in AAA, because I remember us talking before the season and he wasn't sure where he was going to start. He started in AA where he was the previous year, and the move to Reno, Nevada in AAA really didn't slow him down at all. It didn't slow him down a bit. You see the power, you see the home run numbers were there, the speed numbers were better because that's something he worked on. Oh, Christian Robinson also played in the fall league last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And so I feel like
I thought we said his name.
We may have.
Yeah.
We do a lot of talking on this. All of the tools are there, and I expect him to be the first one called up out of this trio.
You think that is Christian Robinson going to get called up out of the trio?
The first one, yeah. I actually think he gets on the 40-man out of spring training. I think that happens. I think he was close the last 2 years. I think this is the year he breaks out of camp on the 40-man.
So my hot take, Sebastian's going to be on the opening day roster next season.
That is a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very hot take. I mean, I'm mad at it, of course.
No one could be mad at it.
Of course, nobody can be mad at all. And then BJ Murray's numbers with the Chicago Cubs. Someone who's also played at both the AA and AAA levels. I mean, this is the home run king. Listen, he would have had it. We haven't had a chance to talk about the Derby. Sorry I missed the show last week, guys. I had to go do commentary for that. But he would have won the Derby if it wasn't in the dark. He would have been the 2-time. I know we're talking about the actual game in between the lines.
Boy.
He would have been the 2-time. He would have been the first Bahamian to win the Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise twice, but it's in the dark.
I mean, if they could start at 11 a.m., they could get this thing done by 3 o'clock.
It would be nice. But BJ had a 2020 season for the Knoxville Smokies. For me, I feel like it's just figuring out where he's going to play on defense.
See, okay. So if you had to do a comparable of it, and this isn't the batting side, but it's like, maybe it is a comparable. I'm thinking of the Marlins infielder who was a utility player, and it wasn't Dan Uggla. It was, what was his name?
We're talking like prime Miami Marlins?
No, he was with Jazz, and he was a utility infielder.
It was the
Birdie or something like that.
Yeah.
John Birdie.
John Birdie, yeah.
He reminds me of him when it comes to the versatility he has on defense. But offensively, he just is way better than John Birdie.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it could be something where they think he's valuable enough to be on the roster because you got a third base, you got a shortstop, and you got a first baseman, like all in one. That's almost the whole infield.
We got our list for who we're taking in the race. You think Sebastian gets there first. I think Robbie gets there first. But this is the only race where we all win, no matter who gets there first, right?
Everybody wins?
That's why you get paid the mediocre bucks. Let's go to number 7 on our countdown. Coach Yo leads Ole Miss to the Sweet 16. Every time we talk Coach Yo and the NCAA tournament, I always remember us being in Grand Bahama on assignment and nobody knowing what was happening.
When we said, hey, could you put the TV on the Ole Miss game? What?
we hustled to
this
get
was at Agave, and I could call them out.
We hustled to get there. Well, I thank you for remembering, because I was going to say we were at a random sports bar, because I don't remember.
No, we were at Agave, and we went to the bar area.
We thought this was such a big deal because we just happened to be in Grand Bahama. This was her first year.
Why did they get beat bad that game, though?
I mean, they did.
Belmont beat them.
But that was her first time taking Ole Miss to the tournament. Things change now. Things change.
Back then, they didn't like me.
Yeah, I mean, they did like it, and they like her a lot more now.
But now she's hotter.
After she get that bag.
They all are 8-7.
But they reached the Sweet 16, and it feels like every year she reaches an unprecedented level of success with this program. So she has to be the most beloved coach in Ole Miss now that Lane Kiffin's gone, right?
Has to be. And see, the crazy thing is Ole Miss has the SEC, so the conference they are is a good conference.
Good. It's like a gauntlet.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're ranked this year. She's putting together, like, she's becoming a coach where, because of who she is, her team is always going to be competitive, and she's always going to be a top 25 team year in and year out in the preseason polls. And she could, I feel, if she decided to say, hey, I'm going to another school, it's going to be like the Calipari effect. Recruits are going to follow her.
I think so. I think she's at that point. And what solidified that for me was you followed up the Sweet 16, and now your team, as we speak right now, nationally ranked number 13. Mm-hmm. And you're playing in that ridiculous juggernaut SEC conference.
They were picked, 7th or 6th or 7th in the SEC?
So now, actually, people are looking for you to get beyond the Sweet 16. And I think this is the year that they do. I honestly think Coach Yo can lead this team. I'm looking for them to at least get to the Elite Eight. Beyond that, who knows what could happen, but we are going to be there for the tournament run, and I'm looking to see what happens.
Final Four.
Yeah, she's gonna be further on the countdown next year after they get to the Final Four. Let's go to number 6. We're gonna move to sailing, and Eliza Denning making history in sailing, becoming the first Bahamian to win gold at the Junior Pan Am Games. She qualified for the CAC Games next year. Sailing making this big I'm gonna call it a comeback. Huge comeback, right?
Ever since they named it a national sport, look at what happened.
What happened?
It just got better. No, but it's one of those things that it's good to see, and I'm always going to be happy when multiple disciplines of sports are successful at all levels.
Yeah.
And it's always encouraging to see at the junior level that this is happening, because I remember we had a rower in the Olympics.
We had like 4 disciplines at one time.
We used to have boxing in the Olympics at one point in time.
Toriano Johnson had a good run. I think it was 2008 where we had our most disciplines ever.
Yeah, we had tennis in the Olympics. Like
track, tennis, swimming, boxing.
Yeah,
rowing.
Yeah. So I mean, we've. It's always great to know that things are picking up. Now, the cry is always going to be, if you want us to be good at it, you need funding.
Oh,
right?
Always.
And sailing is an expensive sport.
I was about to say, especially for this sport.
Yes. Sailing is an expensive sport. And we need to make sure, like, if she is winning a junior Pan Am game, this is like Anthony Strong when she became the double gold medalist when it was IAAF under 23 or whatever, the World Juniors, whatever it was.
Favorite podcast of the year.
Yeah. You need to, that should have been outside looking in. We should be able to say, we identified this talent. Let's make sure she gets what she needs to be able to represent us at the highest scale. Because what's going to happen is all these people who are coming 2nd, 3rd, 15th, 50th, they're still going to be in a proper program getting everything done. We have to make sure that we just nurture this talent so we could be in the Olympics. So then everyone could say, when I was in government, these people...
They do love to say that.
They do love to say, we won 2 gold medals in our time. Like, who cares?
That's the exact voice that they say it with, too. And just as we speak, she recently wrapped up competition at the Youth Sailing World Championships in Portugal and had the best finish ever for a Bahamian. So there you have it. Even as we speak, late into December, Eliza Denning still doing big things.
I wonder how cold that water is.
Too cold for us.
Philadelphia cold?
You know the game. You live for the rivalries. The buzzer beaters, the Hail Marys. At Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, we're built for that energy because we're built for players. Better odds, faster action, smarter bets. Visit everybodywinslive.com or drop into an EWL location and feel the difference. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, built for players.
Let's go on to number 5 now. We reach to our top 5. The Carifta Swimming Dynasty. Number 7 for Carifta Aquatics. 7 straight. So, yeah, when I say number 7, it's not just 7. It's 7 straight. And I think this is 9 of the last 10. So, basically, it's ours, right? They should probably just...
Yeah, no, we're
name it after us at this
doing
point.
what Jamaica does in track and field. The only...
we ain't there yet. They're like decades in.
No, but I'm saying, like, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, 7 is a great... 9 out of 10 is a great start.
You have to start somewhere. But the only thing I have with swimming is it doesn't translate to the senior level.
Before we get there, let me give them a point total. 979 points ahead of second place Jamaica with 795, TNT with 735. In terms of the medal haul, 74, 27 gold, 23 silver, 24 bronze.
Back to my point.
And go.
And I just feel like there needs this a disconnect.
Why doesn't it go beyond this level?
Why does it is it that the level of Carifta swim times don't match up with the world? Because when we look at track and field, right? Mm-hmm. We know that Jamaica is going to win every single year. But we have athletes who are competing and clocking times that are top in the world. Like, is it something where maybe Carifta swimming just has to be more stringent with their times and say, you know, we can't go with what the region says. We need to go with what the world says to try to get these kids to compete harder and be able to make world times. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's no disrespect to Carifta winning 7 in a row. It's just, I feel it's great to win these titles as junior athletes, but we're not producing anyone at the senior level.
Yeah, I mean, play who's on the schedule, right? If this is who's in the region and this is
but
who
if you
we're
make the
competing
schedule
against.
with time, then all of a sudden it's a whole different ball game now.
So you're saying we just aim higher at this because aim higher than this because the same level of success isn't there when what is the next level up from Carifta? CC can the same level
Goodwill
of success.
Games? No, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but
the same level of success is not there. So I don't know. For people more well versed in this, should be able to answer these kind of questions.
Yeah, if someone could email us at info@10wires.com and just give us an explanation of what it, because at the same time we look at things one way, right? And we look at things even in basketball level and track and field level and volleyball level when we have professionals, you know, you have those diamond in the baseball, you have the people in it. I just want to know more of an understanding with swimming and what do we need to know about it? Because like I said, it's not like we're saying this is a terrible feat. This feat means, no, it's a big thing.
It's huge.
It's absolutely huge. But I just want to know why it isn't translating to the next level.
How does it get you to the next step? Because I'll tell you what it is doing. It is creating a culture among swimming where you have young kids entering the sport and they feel like they have to maintain this standard.
Lantanigo she wanted to be a swimmer.
She was close. She would have had to, well, she would have been in the beginning group. But now kids who get into swimming, they know that, hey, this is something that the Bahamas is going to win. We don't want to be the group where this falls off. Yeah. So we have to maintain the standard that has been set. But
yeah, like winning 7 titles is great, but you know what else is great? If you had 3 or 4 of, like, Ariana Vanderpool-Wallace she's the only one that's made Olympic finals. Like,
yeah, we wasn't winning then.
We wasn't winning then. But I mean, I always feel we need to figure out how can we get more of her at that level.
Let's move on to number 4. Now, 2024 was the year of Devin Charlton. Mm-hmm. 2025, Lil Sis said, my time to shine. Mm-hmm. And Thea Charlton hit the scene and had a record-setting year at Florida. So good that she was like, that's enough of this college stuff. Time to go pro.
I don't blame her.
Let's chase the bag. A dual threat, if there ever was one. Personal best across the board in everything, right? She jumped 6.98 at the Razorback Invitational. She did that early in the year. New Bahamian national record, qualified, went to the world champs. And then on the track in the 100 ran a 10.87. And we thought she was inching so close to that national record. And you know how crazy it would have been for her to have 2 national records in the same year. I mean,
absolutely. Like,
she's chasing Chandra Stirrup right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think eventually she's going to get there. But to me, I was more impressed with the long jump.
Yeah.
Because I feel sprinting-wise, we always had, like, the sprinters. But for some reason, like, if you watch that national record jump, it's just insane. Like, it's like the technique that you got to do. Like, it's such a... You need the athletic ability, but you also need the precision of the technical fundamentals of being able to jump. Because you remember when they were saying, we're going to change the long jump board to a sensor. So, and it's just like, no, that takes away from the sport. Like, she was able to do that. And I mean, she just looked like a spring going up.
And I don't like what happened at the World Champs because they were not really good with the scheduling.
No,
we wanted her to be able to go after the double. She had to choose Listen, when you know you have athletes like this, I need to talk to World Athletics, because if y'all really want to sell y'all sport, sell the stories. If you know you have marquee athletes going after a double, and you know that could be a story, y'all could tinker around with the schedule a little bit.
There's a little jump and a little run.
I mean, because it ain't even just for us. I'm just saying for anywhere. Look, you need to be able to sell your sport on this side of the world, okay? You saw what happened with Grand Slam track. It ain't work. You need to be able to sell your sport. This could have been an amazing story for you, and it could have been an amazing
But
story
didn't
for
they
Puma.
do the compromise when Michael Johnson was with the 2 and the 4?
You can always do the compromise. You have people that sit in a room and set a schedule. It's very easy to do. You just got to agree upon it.
You
so
know-
we could have had her going after both of those at the World Champs.
Just talking about, I miss Usain.
Of course we do.
Like-
We'll always miss you, saying.
Hey,
He's
I
forever
don't-
on the Mount Rushmore.
I don't know why people don't like greatness.
We're gonna get to
LeBron
that in
haters.
Bud Light Easy. We're gonna get to that in Bud Light Easy Take of the Weeks when we talk about Mount Rushmore. But I'm excited to see what could possibly happen with her in this next season, because I think she gets that 100 national.
Yeah, now
record.
she's a pro, like an official pro, so she ain't got a school. Cardell Jones, I ain't coming for school.
I ain't coming here for school. We're inching closer. Let's get to our number 3, staying on track, but I wanted to go to the Carifta level.
Ooh.
These dudes became bona fide stars, and I honestly feel like we are going to be hearing these names for the next decade easily. Egan Neely, Jacario Wilson, superstars at Carifta 52 in Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to start with Jacario first, because Egan had the entire region just repeating his name. There were memes made of him, but I don't want to.
Do you think it's light skin bias?
No, it was, you were there on the ground. You saw what happened.
I was just trying to.
So because of that, I wanted to start with Jacario first, and we thought he would have been able to have 2 records too, but they just
that start for the 110 meter hurdles.
They ruined him at the 110 hurdles.
Here's my thing with this, right? And I understand we're going to talk about Egan after, but I think Jacario's ceiling is higher than Egan's.
Ooh,
Another hot take.
ooh,
And the reason I say that is
that is bold.
That's bold.
Go ahead.
when he ran the 110 meter hurdles, right? And he clipped the hurdle, and he still beat everyone by like a second.
It was him running against.
It was him running
chasing
against the
record.
clock.
It wasn't.
His
against anybody
reaction
else.
that I saw, I just said, "That's the dog." I know Egan's a dog,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that that's the type of stuff I want to see out of an athlete, because he knew he was better than that.
I know what you saw. You saw this gold medal ain't enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
I barely care about that. And after that, he didn't even want to do interviews.
No, and I don't blame you.
Because they ruined that, holding them in the starters blocks for like 15, 20 real minutes. It was
It
ridiculous.
was stupid. But like I said, Jacario impressed me, because you got to realize too, Jacario ran the 1, the 4.
And it was the same. It was the same thing in the 400 hurdles.
Yeah.
It was just him versus time. A matter to see if he was going to
So
get the record.
at the end of the day, we're going to have to see which one he's going to pick,
yeah.
right? And it is going. You can't do both. You're not going to be able to do both.
That's a wide range.
Yeah. So he's going to have to pick one.
They should start having 200 hurdles.
No, that's a bad take.
It's no
But
bad
yeah,
takes.
no. When I saw that, I just looked at him and I said, he's going to be an Olympian gold medalist, like just from that.
Just from that alone.
Just from that alone.
Okay. So now let's go to Egan, right? And
Egan's
the
a dog too.
And the reason why we thought he should have been the Austin Seeley, it wasn't just the fact that he was dominant in the 2, dominant in the 4. It was the style points that he did it in. And I feel like that moment anchoring the 4x1 was the moment that should have solidified him winning the Austin Seeley. Style points should matter. He got that baton, and the Bahamas was in what, maybe 4th?
People are going to say they were
had-
in last. People are going to
Listen.
say they're in 3rd. You know what? They wasn't winning. Let's just put it that way.
I'm going to do my best to describe this in an audio-only medium. We had no shot in that race once Egan Neely got that baton. And he's not a 100-meter sprinter, but he looked like one on that final leg, because
You sure you ain't a 100?
he came from out of nowhere. Nobody was even looking at that inside lane. Nobody was paying attention to that. All eyes were fixated on the middle of the track. They were watching Jamaica and TNT, and he snuck in there to get that goal for Team Bahamas. It was that had that stadium going crazy, and not just the Bahamians. You know how good
everyone.
You know how good you have to be for the. Nah, I know if you all ever talk to Jamaicans around Carifto. No, but you know how good you have to be for them to acquiesce and be like, yeah, he's special.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm looking at the race right now, just so you all know. He got the baton. It was 1, 2. He was like third or fourth.
So both of them also teamed up to be members of the 4x1 and 4x4.
Before we go to that,
medals.
before we join the forces and make the ultimate like greatest athlete of all time, people got to remember too. In his 200-meter win, he slipped out the blocks, so he didn't even have a clean start, and he still dominated them. So it's like that, like we're saying, do you know what it is for a Jamaican to come and say, boy, that Egan Neely?
We thought he had Dawson Seeley, man. We thought it was his. Let's go on to number 2. Jazz Chisholm Jr. and the superstar season. So this season for Jazz, all right, the list is a long one. He joins the prestigious 30-30 club. We know how vaunted it is to be a part of that. 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. We always said as long as Jazz was healthy, sky's the limit for where this is going to go. So we had the 30-30, wins the Silver Slugger Award for one of the best offensive players in the American League. Second All-Star appearance, first time in the AL.
With the Yankees, let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Made the appearance at the Home Run Derby, brought the Bahamas with him. He had Jerron Sands throwing to him at the Derby.
Should have had Kaizen catching, but anyways, that's another story.
That could be a part of this story. Should have had Kaizen catching. Maybe,
He would have hit for home run, maybe.
Things would have turned out differently. I mean, Kaizen usually catches for Home Run Derby winners. We saw it at Montague multiple times. Might have won it if he did. But so Jazz actually becoming the star in New York. And people question whether he would be able to not just survive this move, but to thrive in it. And if that is any indication what a full season looks like in New York, where does he go up from here?
That's the crazy thing, because he missed like a month of real baseball. Like
he did.
A month worth of games. Like how many games he missed? 30? Like somewhere around there. So you should go to UPT. But you got to understand that
Don't get me started.
Jazz is, coming to his own. Like he is a legitimate star in baseball. Like all these people, I love how you said when you spoke to the Dominicans, Jazz isn't that good.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, bro, like you really like hot takes. The Bud Light takes, cold takes would be coming up. But it's like we have to appreciate what we have, right? And the crazy thing is, what Jazz is doing now, he might not be the best Bahamian. Like, that's something crazy to think about, because if you look at his numbers, right? All-star numbers, his WAR, his home runs, all of his stats are above average. All of them. So, yeah, playoffs come, they don't win. Guess what? Baseball is a team sport.
But he always has the moments too.
Yeah.
It really feels like he was made for New York. I mean, him playing in Miami was cool and all that, and he was building it. But now in New York, he's building an actual legacy, because half of the season with the Yankees and then making that run towards the World Series where he really was a big factor in that. Yeah, cool. People always want to say we'll do it again. He was even better the next year. He started off great. Yeah, you had the slump, but baseball is a numbers game across the board. It's the reason why they have averages. And then again, he had the moments when the Yankees needed him the most. I think he's going to be even better.
How many 30-30 people are on the played for the Yankees?
4. Yeah, the Yankees have had 4 30-30 seasons. Think about that. This is the most storied franchise in sports. It's tough to find a Yankee that's never done anything. There's only ever been 4. Soriano did it twice. Bobby Bonds did it once. I'm slipping my mind. Slipping my mind who the fourth was. But anyway, so Jazz joins that very select list. And I think it gets even better because, like you said, he still missed a month. So there is still a window of opportunity for improvement
40.
for him to get those 30 games in there. And that's what I'm thinking. So if you know Jazz, if you talk to Jazz, if it's one thing he always has.
Confidence.
I used to call it delusional confidence, but now it seems really accurate, right? And if he thinks the 40-40 season is happening, then I'm on board with that.
I might be 50-50.
Well, now we talking MVP numbers.
Yeah.
Now we
See,
talking
me
MVP
and Jazz would be on the
numbers.
same wavelength there. Because you know what he could tell me?
Yeah.
I like how you think.
Because, dog, if he puts up
No, I
anywhere
think-
close to MVP numbers in this season, the most lucrative contract a Bahamian athlete has ever seen. Ever, if he does that.
He ain't coming back to Nassau. He ain't gonna deal with y'all. Let's just put it
He
that
like
way.
Nassau a lot. Let's move to number 1 on our list. I feel like I should just say his name and then just let John go because it could be another 20, 30 minutes. Number 1 is VJ Edgecombe becoming a star to the world. Not just to the Bahamas, not just to Bimini. VJ captured everyone's attention. John, go.
You know what the best part of this is, right?
What's the best part?
Where all them writers at now? Like,
We're all the analysts.
where all y'all? Oh, Ace Bailey this, Ace Bailey that. Like, I remember we had to like argue for the same way how we argue for Jazz sometimes.
Yeah.
We had to argue about VJ. And then all of a sudden, these are supposed to be some of the top tier journalists in the country. Well, I never really seen VJ play like that. Oh, at Baylor, he didn't look good. It's like, bro, look, like, you got to understand when it comes to, shout out to the Philadelphia scouting department, you got to look at the totality of things. If you're trying to tell me when he played in that FIBA tournament, you didn't see a first round pick, a lottery pick type thing,
Pro right away.
yeah, then you're crazy. Like if you didn't look at that, then you should be fired.
Let me put a pin in that just to, because we can knock down these notions one by one. The whole he didn't look ready at Baylor thing. Big 12 freshman of the year, second team all Big 12, all freshman team, Jerry West Award finalist. That's someone who's not ready?
It's just that I don't get it. Like, first of all, did you see the dunk against Gonzaga?
When he ended the feud.
When he like, I don't care if you're winning, you're losing. But see, and this is the problem. When he got drafted, his story got everyone saying, oh, I didn't know this about him because y'all didn't want to do no research. Y'all didn't go to 10thyearseniors.com to go figure stuff out.
I remember us sitting there pre-draft. We're watching the ESPN show.
They
Not
completely skipped.
Not even just them. We was watching everybody, and they would talk about everyone. They going down the list talking about everyone in the lottery, and you could almost tell that a producer mentioned something in someone's ear because right before they went to break, it's like they rushed in and said, "Oh, and what about that VJ Edgecombe?" I mean, the dude was putting up some of the best athletic numbers from the combine. So it translated what we saw during gameplay also in the combine. Like, y'all knew. Why y'all was acting brand
Like,
new?
I don't understand. Athleticism, we always knew we had it, right? High basketball IQ, we always knew we had it. But the best part was, he can't shoot the three. Well, guess what? He could shoot the three. When, like, the first game of the season, when he put up 34 points.
Let's go. Hold
Historic.
On. Before we go there, I want to go back to draft night, right? Because becoming a star is oftentimes so much more than what you actually do in the field of play. That was the night that VJ became a star because people learned of his story. If it's one thing people are attracted to, it's always natural authenticity. And I think once they learned more about VJ and they learned more about his story and the fact that he couldn't even contain the passion that he had realized. I mean, I can't imagine what that feels like, right? You having a dream your entire
A year
life.
and a half.
Even then, it ain't gonna be like that. You can't imagine what that feels like having that moment where everything you worked for and you just get it on the biggest stage where everyone's watching. And he was overcome with emotion and people saw that and they were like, this never happens anymore. We don't see this. Because now the NBA has turned into a game of privilege where, let's face it, if you able to be in the best programs and the best travel teams, you kind of on a fast track to get there. That wasn't VJ's story. That was not VJ's story.
So I still go my favorite things with VJ. When VJ dunked this one on Carmelo and I filmed it and I discovered, it's like, man, y'all shut up. Because I could tell you this right now, and I always tell people this at a level. Frederick King, VJ, like it was AJ at the opportunity. We knew Donnie, Isaiah, Sutherland. We were all looking at them to see, would they be able to all play on a national team at once? The answer was no, because a couple of them,
right?
yeah, but a couple of them were like a year or two off. we always had that identified, and we always, and I wouldn't say we, there was a couple people who always felt VJ was the best prospect we had coming up at 15, at the age of 15. So all these sites that you see, oh, he was just discovered at this age. No, he wasn't. I'll go back to, he was in buddy camp for a reason, right? Let's be real. Sometimes you have to look at, and that's why I'm glad like the buddy thing comes out, like his elite camp, because now people really can't be like, oh, he was a nobody. He was never on this situation. VJ has put in all the work he's had to put in to be able to get to this level, and I'm just glad it's finally paying off.
And now let's get to what happens as soon as he hit the pros, right? So
Boston.
Yeah.
When he dunked that ball,
the greatest debut ever.
Yeah, when he
like we're and yes, we are homers, but that don't mean we ain't right. It literally statistically was the greatest debut ever.
Yeah. So when he dunked that basketball, and I remember I messaged Now, I said, I've seen enough. Like, I don't have to see any more, right? And we all knew, and we spoke about this after the fact, that this Joel Embiid, Paul George, McCain's coming back. So the numbers weren't always going to be there. But he showed day one that, hey, if they don't want to play or can't play, I'm going to play.
Me and Maxie could take the Seaman ride. That's basically what it is, right? And the thing about VJ that stands out, okay, the scoring ability is there, obviously. What is so impressive to me is that VJ makes winning plays. It doesn't matter what he has to do defensively, whether it's, and not even just in the counting stats in terms of getting a block or getting the steal. VJ will get a deflection. VJ will chase after.
Makes winning plays.
Every single thing that you need to do. And the game that we were at, I mean, I feel like this is always gonna be a story that we keep retelling. VJ checks into that game 112 left and was involved in every single play down the stretch way before the game winner. He had 2 steals to even get them the possession. He was involved in the rebound that they had to go to the review with. Just has a nose for the ball and is always going to be around the ball in moments like those and never afraid of the moment. I think those are the qualities that you could take those and you could extrapolate that and say, yeah, this is for the long term. This is somebody that is going to be a legitimate star. This is somebody that is going to be the cornerstone of a franchise. So yeah, the numbers may not be there for him to win Rookie of the Year, but I think that's only just based off the log jam they have on the wing. That's not, Con Knippel's not a better player than he is. Mm-mm. Cooper Flag, not a better player than he is. Mm-mm. But the numbers are going to regress, like, because he has to share time and share the floor with all of those names that you mentioned. Knippel ain't got to do that in Charlotte. Nobody even cares what's happening with Charlotte. But Philly has a legit opportunity because you got Tyrese Maxey and you have Joel Embiid and Paul George.
Yeah, and shout out to VJ for waiting for us to show up to hit a game winner and wait for Buddy to show up to hit a game winner. But like I said, Buddy has said it. Aiden praised. I remember, I've said it before on the show, and I know I've said it on podcasts. When we were in Greece, and I remember DeAndre pulls me to the side and says, "Boy, who this boy is?" Just saying it like, and he's like, I ain't seen a dog like that since I was that age, and that's DeAndre saying that. And he just knew that VJ was a stud. And from there, like, their connection has been so close and tight. It's just like from there, because he was just like, that's a dog and that's the bro and that's going to be Bahamas right there. So it's like, people know that except the Philadelphia and national media. But hey, who are we to tell them how to do their job?
That'll do it for our countdown. Up next, the Bud Light Easy Takes of the Week.
Stafford going to the end zone, reaching up and making the grab. Bahamas. Are you ready for the ultimate Bud Light football experience? Buy 2 6-packs of Bud Light at any Jimmy's Wines and Spirits location or at participating liquor stores, and you're automatically entered to win. You could score an all-expense-paid trip to watch the Dolphins game live. Don't wait. Grab your Bud Light and get in the game today. Bud Light is distributed by Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, who reminds you to drink in moderation.
Bud Light Easy Takes of the Week. And in this segment, guys, we know you love to enjoy Bud Light. This is the time for you to do it during the holiday season. It's stressful out there. We talked about the traffic at the top of the show.
Don't drink and drive, though.
Yeah. But once you get home, once you get
to your Christmas parties.
Once you get to your Christmas parties and you have a chance to relax, because there is nothing like being off the road and not having to deal with any of this stuff. Enjoy Bud Light. It's easy to drink. It's easy to enjoy. It settles you down. It calms your nerves. You don't have to deal with the rat race of making sure everyone is around you happy this Christmas season. But you can be happy as long as you have your Bud Light. So what we do with this segment, as you know by now, we're going to deliver our easy takes because they're the Bud Light takes. They are easy to digest. You're going to agree with a lot of these. And even if you don't, they are going to be easy to argue with. John, you got Bud Light takes ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I got Bud Light takes ready. Let's go. Bud Light Easy Take of the Week number 1. And this one goes out to John. Shout out to my boy for going against probably the toughest player in the draw at the Open Nationals. College players are tough. They are tough to play against.
I feel like I agree. And sometimes you have to appreciate it even when you're toting the cut hip.
You know what? That's the easy take. Let's appreciate greatness in the moment.
Yeah.
Because we need to use this as a launch pad to talk about all different things.
Yeah. Look, guys, I'm not going to be here to toot my own horn. Maybe back 20 years ago when I could have moved a little better, right? I could have probably get more shots. But I was serving good today. I think I was. I think majority of the people who were watching was that. But the dude was Pablo Picasso. He would just paint the line, and I'd be like, wait. All I would say is just like, good shot.
I mean, what you gonna do?
It was a good shot. Like, you gotta appreciate it sometimes, and sometimes, like I say, let's just say one day he becomes top 10 player in the world. We're just gonna say all those things, right? I'm a footnote, dog.
But you're in the story.
Yeah,
you're in the story. So, and when that happened, as soon as you came off the court, the first thing we said was, why don't people have this about LeBron? And so another easy take of the week is people have trouble accepting sustained excellence, right? Like I don't know why, but people kind of root against sustained excellence. Is it because we always want the underdog? Is it because we feel like that's a better story? Because to me, we love celebrating the sustained excellence of Bud Light. We know that's the best beer. So when we go to any distributor of Bud Light, yeah, we're going to go and order that because that's the best one. That's the sustained excellence. Why don't we do that in sports? Why is it it seems as if we get tired of someone winning and we want someone else new in there?
I have no idea. And it's going to always go back to, I know I said it last week. Now it's here now. This is the first time I watched LeBron live.
Yeah.
This is the first time. And guess what? But he was great.
It was so great. Like, it felt magical.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's kind of crazy because we go to all these things for sports, right? But I feel like this was an opportunity to be able to just like say, you know what? Let me just watch a little bit of this. Let me just experience what it is. And experiencing greatness is crazy. And I don't know why people hate so much for no reason.
We've been doing this for a very long time. I've had few of those moments. What stands out at the top of my mind just witnessing that was Eric Gordon's threes.
Boy, that was good.
Bolt at the World Relays. Actually watching him in person grab the baton and see what happened. It literally
he ran like the fastest split in the history of history.
It seemed like he was flying. Actually being trackside watching that, I could not believe how fast he got there. That's the feeling I got in that fourth quarter when LeBron was like,
Fourth quarter? When
that's
LeBron came out and started talking crap to the fans, he was like, yeah.
They made fun of his hair.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that's what was happening in real time.
what'd he do?
I saw it after the fact. Do not make fun of that man's hair. He paid a lot for whatever happened with that. You can't make fun of
You
his
can make
hair.
buckets. That's all I know. Infinity buckets. Sorry, Kai.
Bud Light Easy Take of the Week. We're up to number 3 now. Happy trails to a Tonga Vailoa. Happy trail. And we're gonna do a deeper dive into this. And you know what? Let me rephrase that. Bud Light Easy Take of the Week, number 4. The Dolphins are better without Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah. I mean, we saw his interviews this year.
Something was off.
Something was off. And you know what the crazy thing is? I feel if I was getting paid $52 million a year and it didn't matter if I played or not, I'd done the same thing.
See, we always say that, but I think we usually take the money and we don't think of them as people. We think of them as assets. We think of them as investments that these teams make. But they are people. These dudes got pride. The reason they get there is because they have that confidence and they got that pride. I don't care if you have $52 million. For you to be a star at every point in your life and it's unceremoniously taken away from you for a lack of performance and you have to actually go on camera and admit that has to sting. Like, you could buy all the things that you want. The mental health does matter.
Yeah. Anyways, glad he's gone. Here's another easy take, like you could call like 3A. Being the young quarterback is sexy in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
because Ewers was named the starter, and Zach Wilson is like, you were just there to be there. So it's like, if you're a young quarterback and you're third string, you probably it's probably better to be the third string now than the backup.
We say that all the time, right? Like, what's the best job in sports? Being the backup quarterback. Everybody wants.
But now it's third string quarterback.
Right? No, because that's Tua.
No, he's an emergency quarterback.
That's number 3 because they go Ewers, and then they go
You're killing my easy take.
Sorry, didn't mean to kill your easy take. All right, let's go over to some more hoops. Bud Light Easy Take of the Week, number 5. Remember when we was talking about those great performances and the moments that we had? Watching Victor Wembanyama beat the Thunder, I had the moment then like, oh, he's going to be the best. He's going to be the best for a while.
And that's why you wanted VJ to go to the Spurs
I wanted VJ to go to the Spurs. We would have had, at minimum, 8 to 10 years.
8 championships.
8 championships, fine. We would have had a minimum 8 to 10 championships, VJ and Wemby, for the next decade.
You know what would have been crazy? It would have been like Buddy could have then gone there.
Yes.
And just be like, hey, what's up?
We could have convinced them to bring Kai Jones back from Turkey.
Boy. No, Wemby is just a crazy time. And I find it funny because Olivia's here. And she's like, who is that tall guy? And it's like,
which one?
Yeah, it's the 7'4" guy. Why is he so tall? And it's just, we
don't know. Why is he so tall and doing things that the short people do?
Yeah,
we don't know.
He is going to be so good. And I hope people don't hate him.
I can see it happening, though, John.
I can see it happening too. But y'all people gotta embrace and appreciate what we have.
And you know what? Like, because I see it happening also with Jokic, because the sustained excellence is just it's droning. It's almost as if they get tired of it. But it's because Jokic just doesn't care. It doesn't affect him. He doesn't care about any of this. The minute the season ends, he just goes back and races his horses. So he doesn't care about it. But think about if you are deep into American culture and you always engage in it, the debate television, the social media, it can wear on you. And Tua is someone, to take it back to him, very present with all of that stuff. Mental health matters.
It does.
Bud Light, easy take of the week. We're up to 6 now. John Canoe could be tough.
Like, tough in the aspect of, like,
all of the aspects.
Do we think it's going to be fair?
Do people ever think it's fair?
No, absolutely not.
I'm not. Hey, for clarification, I'm not saying it's not fair, because
no, we're just talking about the masses.
And shirts in my drawer and 4 straight turns.
Are they going to win 5
very quickly? 5. We're looking at 6 as an organization.
But how you could look at 6 before 5?
Because I feel like it's always grouped together.
So
You
let me
plan for
ask you
both
this
parades
then:
at once.
Is it going to be too late next year to do like 6th and 7th title?
6, 7,
We can make the t-shirts.
6, 7.
You know, okay. Here's a little bit of marketing. Here's an easy take for you guys at the Saxons. 6, 7 Saxons. Get the young people in.
You got to do it.
Make some shirts that say Saxons 6. What would it be? The 6 would be New Year's.
You think it could still be cool by then?
Oh, yes. Well, I don't know. Yes,
I don't know.
Here's the thing, though,
That could be
right?
tough.
I mean, you might be able to bring the trend back.
Yeah, that's true.
But the thing is, if they win New Year's, it's going to be New Year's 2026, right? And if they win Boxing Day, it's going to be 2026, right? So that's going to be 6, 7, and 2026.
It's a lot of 6, 7s in here.
Yeah, 2026. So anyways, there's some marketing stuff here. Start making your 6, 7 t-shirts. I just hope it's on TV.
That's it. The bar is set so low. Like that's really all we want. We want that, and we want Bud Light. And to do that, you know where to go. Find your Jimmy's Wines and Spirits or any participating vendors, because Bud Light has your tickets. They still have your tickets to the big game. All you got to do, buy 2 6-packs today. That is not a tall ask. Like we said, you need that. This is a very stressful time. You are entered to win a trip to see the Dolphins play live. You get to see Quinn Ewers. It's only a few weeks left. You get to see the Dolphins play live, so purchase yours today. Like I said, at Jimmy Wines and Spirits or any of their participating vendors. Enjoy your Bud Light. Enjoy the Dolphins while you can.
Be a better game with yours.
Going to the end zone, reaching up and making the grab.
Bahamas, are you ready for the ultimate Bud Light football experience? Buy 2 6-packs of Bud Light at any Jimmy's Wines and Spirits location or at participating liquor stores, and you're automatically entered to win. You could score an all-expense-paid trip to watch the Dolphins game live. Don't wait. Grab your Bud Light and get in the game today. Bud Light is distributed by Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, who reminds you to drink in moderation.
This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays, only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
Welcome back to the Accredited, powered by 10th Year Seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Ronaldo, and nobody ever wants to hear about anybody's fantasy football team, but y'all got to hear about mine. Thank you, Puka Nakua. You started us off strong. Now the rest of my guys got to finish the job.
Yeah, Puka's on my team too, so
Attaboy.
solidarity.
Attaboy. All right, so this is the second hour of your extended version of the Accredited, brought to you by Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook is the place for you to go and play. Is the place for you to win, and you still got a couple shopping days left. So if you win tonight, and you can, because we're inching closer to the playoffs, so that means we have Saturday Night Football. So you got opportunities to win, and you could go spend it right back because you got to go buy gifts.
For the college football playoffs.
There's a lot that you could bet on Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook. for the purposes of this segment, we're going to help you with the NFL. We might toss in some NBA, but before we get to the actual games, we want to go through our Tings is Tings or Down Bad segment. This is where we talk about specific fan bases and we try to find out how things are doing with them. Now, all year long, I've been going to John first with this, and John has had the same answer. But I got to check in with him now because it's been a monumental shift with his franchise. Miami Dolphins. Tings is Tings or Down Bad?
Tings is Tings in a good way.
Still, wow.
In a good way.
Tell me how.
We did get rid of Tua.
Addition by subtraction.
Addition by subtraction.
I don't know, man.
It's a step forward in the franchise history right now. Because if I were to say down bad, what are we down bad from?
Because you have the uncertainty of what's going to happen next. Yeah, the grass could always
I could tell you what's going to happen with Tua in there.
I mean,
the same thing that happened with Q and with whoever his name, whoever
exactly,
in there.
That guy. Quinn Ewers or Zach Wilson. Is that an upgrade from Tua, or are you just saying it's unknown, so we rocking with it?
It's the same thing.
That's what I'm saying, man. So if it's the same thing and I have to prove and come on, I mean, look, it ain't my team, so I get it.
Tings is Tings, boy.
All right, Tings is Tings.
I'll be consistent this year.
You have been consistent, which is crazy. No matter what, you've been saying Tings is Tings, and that is a byproduct of expectation because you have zero expectations. For anything
you know, and here's the thing: I wish there was like an AI tool where you could run all your podcasts through. Because I exactly called what was going to happen with the Dolphins season.
You did.
They're going to start bad. They're going to win games. They're going to get us a crappy draft
Love
pick,
to ruin the draft
and
pick.
that's
their favorite thing to do.
Yep.
They love to do that even more than sunshine and everything else. This one's a pretty obvious one too. Kansas City Chiefs. Tings is Tings or down bad.
Yeah, they down bad. They down bad.
Like not just making the playoffs is one thing, right? But
you lose Patrick Mahomes for the year.
You lose Mahomes, and not just that. You gotta placate him to make sure you don't lose his attention for the franchise, which is a bigger deal.
It's not just that. So let's be real. ACL, and if I'm not mistaken, he had LCL reattachment. So he had 2 ligaments that went. It is the way he plays football. It's going to be tough because he is so used to getting the sneaky runs and extra 5 yards from this.
3rd and 8. He won the Super Bowl against the Eagles with his legs when he couldn't move.
Yeah, he's going to have
Him and Toradol won it.
In my opinion, he's going to have to become now a step back Tom Brady style quarterback and not take those risks running.
Which is so interesting because year 8 was the same year Brady got hit, was lost for the season. Same thing with Mahomes, right? And Brady totally reimagined the way he approached the game, the way he approached how he took care of his body and did all of that stuff. It's going to be and that was before Brady had his 2nd Hall of Fame career. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how Patrick Mahomes approaches this because, like you said, whether it's a half step, whether it's a quarter step, it's not going to be the same. And it might not have been the same anyway, just based on age in football, right? So at some point that was going to have to change. But I always said the same thing about him that I say about Lamar. Like, yeah, the natural progression is you are going to have to adapt to the new reality. And the new reality is my body just ain't going to be the same because football.
No, and see, here's the thing. You're so used to doing something one way.
Yeah.
And now you really have to change because I had the surgery. It ain't fun, right? Meanwhile, I had limited access to a point from what he's going to get. He's going to get 24-hour, whatever he wants. His knee is going to be great. Like the medical team, he's already
that he had the surgery already.
Yeah. So it's like he's going to be fine, but it's still mentally going to take time. I hope it's the mental block isn't there, but if Tom Brady was never running quarterback per se, but if there is a quarterback I believe in that could get it done just because of how strong his arm is, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean, look, I have no doubt he's going to have a 2nd Hall of Fame career just like Tom Brady. Yeah. It's just going to be interesting to see
like
how
getting
this
the ACL now is
it's not the same as it was before.
Yeah.
It's really not. Modern medicine.
It's not, but it is going to change the way that he, plays football. It is.
It has to.
Even if it's 10% different, it's going to be different.
So this is going to be a big matchup. I want to address two of these teams in this segment. Patriots, after being up 21 and giving away a very important game to the Buffalo Bills last week, Tings are down bad.
I think they're down bad because I think that was the statement that they needed.
They needed it. Drake May needed it.
Yeah, they need, because see, that was a home game, right? And if you play Buffalo, even if you win the division and you have to play Buffalo at home, Buffalo already has the confidence saying, we done been there.
Think of the confidence your young quarterback has when he was like, a very important game, I stared down Josh Allen in the face and I beat him. But now think about him having to say, I was up 21 on Josh Allen and I couldn't close the deal. When will I ever feel safe?
Exactly.
You never will. We did your team. Got to do mine. Baltimore Ravens. Tings are down bad. Can I go first?
Tings is Tings, man.
No, Tings is Tings. Down bad. Down bad. Lamar, you know how you just talked about the ACL and you have to change your game and looking different? That's how I feel with Lamar right now. Lamar don't look the same.
No.
Lamar can't run the way he was running before. Lamar is thugging it out through this season, but I don't even know if he has 70%.
You know what the crazy thing is? And it sucks that everyone puts it all on Lamar, right? But they're down bad. And I think the biggest down bad is Derrick Henry.
They lost the
Down
first
bad
two
Henry.
games of the season because of him. Mm-hmm. When you think about it, the fumbleitis he had early on in the season, they would have had the division lead at this point because they were not supposed to lose either that Buffalo or Detroit game. Fumbles though. Let's go to shout out to Kevin Pratt. Shout out to Andrew Bain.
Down bad. We don't even have to.
We do.
The Colts are not going to the Super
The
Bowl.
Indianapolis Colts, Tings is Tings or down bad?
They're down bad because
me
they had to
give
go get Phillip Rivers.
Old man Rivers.
They had to get Phillip Rivers. And the problem is they schedule so hard right now. They got the 49ers coming up.
Schedule been hard. Let's go over to some basketball stuff first before we hop back to the NFL and talk Week 16.
49ers, Jaguars, Texans is the cold schedule.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get wrecked. Okay, let's go Lakers. LeBron's in and out of the lineup. Luka's in and out of the lineup.
Things is things. They just gotta get the playoffs. We've been saying this all year. We've been saying the whole thing with y'all haters with DeAndre Ayton. Oh, this is a preseason. You know what? Ayton is the big man they need, and we see it every single game. And things is things, and they're gonna upset OKC.
I ain't got nothing else to say about that. Literally nothing else. Philadelphia 76ers. Tings is Tings. Down bad.
Things is things with them too, because we knew that when all the players come back, and if Joel ever plays, like whatever. I mean, I know he has some good games, but we know there's too much basketball to share around, and they're on the boat of they just have to make the playoffs to see what they can do.
All right, let's go to Week 16. I want to start with the game that we had Thursday night because Thursday night developed a reputation over the years for just not being good football, just being bad. Like it looked bad because the NFL was trying to color rush for a while. It looked bad in terms of the play on the field because, you know, short rest and all of that, just not good. It was like throwaway games. But we had Thursday night. First of all, it was a record because this was the first time you've ever had two 11-win teams on Thursday Night Football. Statistically, you've never had a game this good going into it.
No.
And it completely lived up to the hype. Actually, it exceeded the hype.
Yes, because this game was so weird with the ebbs and flows of a game.
Yeah.
Because you had the moments where you were like, oh, the Rams have this game and it's not even going to be close. And then all of a sudden you're like,
they were up 15 in the fourth.
yes. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh, the Seahawks just aren't going away. And I feel the whole night changed with that 2-point conversion with what we thought was a forward pass turned into it was a fumble.
The night change on that punt return.
Yes. But I feel because
that call was crazy though.
Yeah. A punt return to me is just a regular football play. And you know what? It could happen. Yes, it does swing momentum. But the craziest thing that happened was that 2-point conversion, because without that 2-point conversion, the Rams probably just win the game.
And this is why I know every Pop Warner coach from the youngest all the way up to college football, they're going to look at that play and they're going to say, this is why I keep playing straight through the whistle. Because Charbonnet just picked the ball up and everyone just thought it was dead.
2 fantasy points.
And it turned out to give people fantasy points. It turned out to change the complexion of that game. But honestly, I wish we could just have this as a
You know what this
5-game
game reminded me
series.
of? Remember when Kansas City played
Buffalo?
and it was like 6 million to 6 million one? This is what the game reminded me of. But what's the Seahawks coach name?
Mike McDonald.
Big kahunas.
Yeah.
Big kahunas.
Going
for the win and going out on his own terms. Because I was talking to Dakari about it and I just said, I didn't realize it was 3 minutes, 18 seconds at that point. And I was just like, man, a loss is so much worse than if you tie.
So much worse.
So much worse.
Because think about, and this is why I say I just want this to be a series and this should decide the Super Bowl, because the first time they played, it was 21-19. And the Seahawks had 4 turnovers in that game. 4 turnovers, and they were still in the game and had a chance to kick for the game-winning field goal. And if they were going to lose another close game, like you said, that would have been so heartbreaking. And I think because of the results of the first game, that's why he was like, nah, we going for this.
Yeah, I know.
We have to at least beat this team once for our confidence.
Yeah, and they won. And not that they have a commanding lead, because
Lead is a lead, bro.
no, but I'm just saying the 49ers and Rams and Seahawks, like it's crazy that
NFC West,
except Arizona.
except Arizona, but NFC West.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to Saturday. The games you are going to see later on this afternoon. The games you will have a chance to bet on later this afternoon. Make you some of that Christmas money that you done spend already, but you could recoup that. So we got the Philadelphia Eagles against the Washington Commanders. That game has a 5 p.m. kickoff. Eagles are favored by 7. Total on this game set at 44.5. How are we looking with ticket prices?
$89 in Maryland. Lando O. So it's the Commanders home game. Look, I got no hopes for the Commanders.
No.
I don't even have hopes for the Eagles. But
No,
the
but
Eagles are just going to be in a situation where they're going to win the game and they're going to clinch. I don't know if they clinch a playoff spot.
So they clinched the division with this. So,
Yeah.
I mean, by default, because the Cowboys didn't show up this year, the Giants were one of the most injured teams in football. So the division just belonged to the Eagles outright. So despite all of the crap that they've been going through this year in the locker room and on the field, they're going to be pretty much right back where we expected them to be, right?
Playoffs.
And NFC East champs. I think they win this game. I also think they cover. That's 7.
Yeah, I think they cover. I think they get 2 touchdowns at least.
That 7 is going to be easy. Marcus Mariota is not going to have.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Hawaiian quarterbacks down by.
It's going to be
right
40
now.
degrees. Saquon Barkley's going to have a big game.
And he's going to need one. Let's go the nightcap for tonight. This is a huge one. Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears. In Chicago, Bears favored by, boy, this could be cool. Bears favored by 1.5. So that tells, if you only get 1.5 at home, that tells you, I mean,
It's
to
a
me,
push pretty much.
not just a push. That feels
Packers
like
are favorite.
That feels like the
yeah.
sportsbook feels like the Packers are the favorites in this one. But it did open earlier this week. Packers -3. That line moved to Bears -1.5. Total on this game 46.5. So they expect a high scoring affair for that. Caleb Williams is gonna have the ball. What are we thinking? Ben Johnson's Bears are a different Bears, and I think people are now accustomed to that. I think what's going to hurt the Packers here, that Micah Parsons injury, because this is the time of year that they got him for. This was exactly the season that he came to this team for. Because, this is a time where we always hear the pass rushers' names the most, where you get the strict sack fumbles or they have those big plays. They could completely swing the tide of a game. Von Miller is going to end up in the Hall of Fame just because he had a great playoff run like this that Micah Parsons could have had for this defense. And I feel like they would have needed him for Caleb Williams. I don't know. I'm taking Bears to win this one outright.
Yeah, so last week I got a call and I was told how wrong I was going to be, which I was. I could admit my losses. I like the Bears. I think the Bears.
Wait, what would the call say? What were you
I
wrong
said
about?
Shador was going to upset the Bears.
Oh.
It was just it was one of my gut feeling games.
Yeah.
Didn't go my way. But I just think the Bears are the better team. In all honesty, I think the running game's better, the defense is going to be better, and the Packers have been such a confusing team this year that I don't know what they're The Bears have just been more consistent. Let's just put it that way.
Confusing and now injured, right? Because they lost Tucker Kraft earlier in the season, which for a time until Jordan Love found his footing again, hurt their pass offense. To me, this is such a terrible. Well, no game is a good game to lose Micah Parsons, but this is a really bad one not to have him because the Bears have such a dynamic run game with two really good running backs. And Ben Johnson is so balanced in the way he runs that offense. And Caleb Williams has figured out how to run that offense.
They clinched the division with this, right?
I'm not sure. Maybe they do. But I know they clinch who's the better out of this rivalry that John Madden used to love so much. RIP. Let's go to, this should be the game that, so let's start Sunday with the game that I feel like the entire Bahamas is going to have their eyes fixated on this one. The beginning of the Quinn Ewers era.
Yeah, I think they clinched with the win.
The Bud Light team will be on hand for this one. The Quinn Ewers era begins in Miami. Bengals favored by 1.5 on the road as they roll into Miami. Yep, Bengals favored by 1.5. Total on this game, 47.5.
Is that Vegas or?
Yeah.
Because I have 4.5 on mine.
Do they expect that Joe Burrow is just going to light it up? Because it is tough right now. Joe Burrow is giving some comments where it seems like he's not having the most fun playing football. Seems like he's not having the most fun in Cincinnati. And that could be for a whole myriad of reasons. But for him to have, I don't know, the worst... Last week was probably one of the worst Joe Burrow games we've ever seen, which does not bode well for the Dolphins because that means he's going to rebound possibly with the best Joe Burrow game we've ever seen. And I'm thinking maybe I pick up the Bengals defense because I ain't trusting the rookie quarterback in this situation.
See, okay, so I'm just looking at these numbers on the new Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook website. They got the Bengals favored by 3.5 on this one. So you were looking at one, I was looking at one. I went to the best source to look at.
You are correct, but I did read the wrong line. The line opened at 1.5. Yeah. That was while Tua was still playing. When they named Quinn Ewers a starter, it shifted to 4.5.
Yeah.
So you were right.
So that just goes to show this game is a toss up as well. Even though the Bengals are favorite, look, I'm just saying they really don't know what the hell is going to go with Tua.
No one's going to trust a new quarterback like that.
That's the thing. If the Dolphins' run game goes, but I got Joey Burrow, the future Dolphin quarterback, winning this game. Ticket prices for this game, $28 in Miami.
They ain't going to that. They ain't going to that.
That could be so empty.
As much as they developed this dislike for Tua, they knew with Tua, they experienced some success with Tua. They don't know what to think, but this Quinn Ewers. I'm
going to say this. These ticket prices are insane this week. This is the real news. Just wait till I get to these other games.
To the good ones. It's a lot of really good games this week. It's a lot of playoff implications.
The Packers-Bears games is $417, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the biggest rivalries in NFL history and playoff implications all over that game. Let's go to the Bills and Browns. You want to have another Shador take this week? Buffalo favored by 10.5. Biggest line of the week.
So here's the crazy thing with Buffalo. This is the type of game they lose.
I was just about to say it. Thank you.
This is the game that they could lose. I don't see them losing it, right? Because they need every win that they can get, right? Mm-hmm. But if I turn the game on and I see the Browns up, I'm going to be like, not surprised.
I'm taking I think Buffalo does win, but I'm definitely taking the Browns to cover. And I think Josh Allen don't respect Shador Sanders like how he respect these other quarterbacks in the MVP conversation.
So you're saying because it isn't a Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he ain't getting up for that. He had to get up for that Drake May game last week because everyone was saying Drake May is the MVP. Except me. He got up for the Joe Burrow game before because, it's Joe Burrow. We know what he does. The games that you expect Buffalo to just walk over and it's chalk, they struggle with those games. And I think that is what happens here. This has got all the makings of a classic trap game. And the fact that I feel like 41.5 is low. That is a low total. I don't know. I'm taking the Browns. I'm taking the Browns to cover this.
Cover and over.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. What do you think on props? What do you think Shador does here in a bounce back game? I know you had him last week. Buffalo's defense is not good.
He's going to throw at least 300 yards. He's going to go over 300. 300, 2 tutties.
Their defense is definitely not good. If you have any confidence in Buffalo, that is strictly because you have confidence in Josh Allen, not in that defense.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Surprisingly, a game for the NFC South. Nobody thought that these two teams would be this close at this point in the season. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if the NFC South should have a team in the playoffs. I feel like the NFC West should just go to the playoffs and they should bypass the South. But
no, you're never going to get that.
I know that ain't going to never happen. But Tampa Bay Bucks on the road facing the Carolina Panthers. I cannot believe the Panthers are playing for a chance to go to the playoffs. This is crazy. Bucks favored by 3. They have just been taking a nosedive this season. I don't know what happened. Total on this game, 45.5.
The crazy stat of this is the ticket's only $81 to get in. For such an important game.
Carolina ain't been used to that for a minute. They ain't experienced this since Cam Newton gone. That was a long time ago.
I think I have Carolina, and I say I think because I have no idea. But I think I have Carolina winning because the Buccaneers are just falling apart.
And Carolina been
not falling apart.
But really good at home for some reason. Like, I don't know why, but they've just been a really good home team. If the Bucks lose this game, are they probably done, right?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. They'll be done. I don't think they go 45.5. I think they go under. And I think the Panthers win.
I feel like Baker got one of them games against one of these teams that didn't believe in him, though.
That's fine.
Yeah. I'm going Bucks with this one. I think Bucks do win this game on the road, and I do think they cover. They are so due for having a convincing win because I believe they are closer to the team that we saw in the first part of the season than whatever it is happening with them now. So take Bucks in this one. If I had to talk about props, I actually think Bucky Irving's going to do really well on the ground. So if Baker, I think they have to, early on in the season, Baker was in that hero mode where he felt like he had to do too much. I feel like that's not the best version of Baker. You need him to be able to pull that out whenever he needs to, but not going to that well right away all the time. So I'm taking Bucky Irving in this one for like an anytime touchdown, at least getting me over 70 yards. Meaningless game out in Dallas and Jerry's World. Cowboys hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Cowboys favored by 1.5.
Well, I'll go with I have the Chargers just based on the fact that the Cowboys are useless. $24 tickets for this game, guys. So if you are in Arlington,
wow,
this is the Cowboys. Like, this is supposed to be the almighty Cowboys.
Wow, $24.
Tickets as low as $24. Yeah. Dallas is favored by 1.5. I don't know where they're getting.
Well, my fantasy football
projections are crazy.
Projection is going to have to take over here because I need the Cowboys to play for something, and I need Dak Prescott to play for something, which is me.
No, I feel like Dak's going to put up 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's just Justin Herbert and them could just score 5 touchdowns.
I've watched 3 Chargers games.
Then don't watch them.
Right? No, what am I missing?
I don't know. See, they remind me, and I always say it, of that Steelers team that just happened to win. Like, for some reason, like, you're looking at like, every division seems to be, like, really top-heavy, except the NFC South. And every other division just seems to be bland. But I see the Chargers winning. I see Dak having a big game. But the Cowboys are done. They're cooked.
I'm taking the Cowboys. I think playing the role of spoiler is going to give them a sense of freedom playing. Because right now you're playing for numbers to boost your arguments in contract negotiations. Players love to do that.
Incentives.
You gotta get... I'm playing for incentives. I know Dak got some 4,000-yard incentives in there. I am projecting because I really need this for my fantasy football team. Let's move on to oh my God, talk about meaningless games. Kansas City Chiefs versus Tennessee Titans. Chiefs favored by 3. Gardner Minshew under center. Let me go first. I think the Titans win this game.
I was going to say the same exact thing. I think the Titans win the game. I think that this is an opportunity for Cam Ward to hit a wounded, because I feel that, so when you lose a player like Patrick Mahomes, when your season is toast, when it's done, there's nothing really to play for. So I don't really see, like, unless Travis Kelce, if he has 1,000-yard incentive game type thing to be trying to play. But Minshew, he ain't the guy. He's not the guy, and I have more confidence in Ward than Minshew. And
I think Cam Ward can have a big
and I
game.
think it's going to be under.
And I was about to say, the total in this game, only 37.5. Lowest total of the week. So this line opened at 11.5. I think that was obviously before the news that Patrick Mahomes is done.
What news did they need? Did they not watch the game?
That had to be it, because there's no reason for this line to open at Chiefs by 11.5 with Gardner Minshew. The Chiefs were bad all year with the greatest quarterback I have ever seen. With Gardner Minshew, objectively worse. I'm taking Cam Newton and the Titans in this one. They get what? Their second win.
Cam
of the
Newton's
season.
back?
Cam Ward.
Wow. I didn't realize that. Phillip Rivers and Cam Newton back in the
Cam
same
Newton
season?
He was trying to be back. He was like, I don't understand why they brought him back and not me. Maybe it's because, you just doing TV and smoking cigars all day. Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants. Vikings favored by 2.5 on the road. Total on this game, 43.5.
That's crazy because the Vikings are going to win, hands down. And I think the Vikings score 30 points and they beat them by at least 10.
Let me ask you something about, before we get to JJ McCarthy, because I do want to talk about him, but earlier you talked about how Patrick Mahomes is going to have to change the way he plays, the ACL, even Lamar, change the way you play. I feel like we already there with Jackson Dart, because he is on a concussion trajectory.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Every other game, he go into the blue tent. He's already missed games being in concussion protocol. They got to change that now.
Yeah, no, to save his life. CTE is crazy, right? To save his life, honestly, I wouldn't even play him right now. You're not playing for anything.
I think as a rookie, you need the reps, though. No?
He needs to have a brain.
I mean, he playing football. There's a chance he ain't got that.
I understand, but you know what? Let him take the next 3 weeks off, right? And heal.
I mean, I love watching Jameis as much as the next guy. If you could give Jameis 3 games, I wish the Dolphins had Jameis. I remember saying that a couple of years ago. Yeah, I wanted the Dolphins.
I would
to
do
have
this,
Jameis.
and I don't think it would be a bad move by the franchise. Say, hey, look, it depends on what his incentives say, right?
Yeah,
because he might have a 2,000-yard incentive. But if I was the Giants and I see where he is, I would take his averages and say, this is what we can do, and you'll meet these we'll pay you out.
These people ain't doing that.
I know they ain't doing it.
Big.
This is why I need to be an owner. But I just think you got to sit him down and just say, hey, let this brain heal.
Yeah, I mean, because, boy, him and Cam back there.
Mushy brain ain't cool.
It definitely ain't cool, because you already having this happen in your rookie season. So I don't know how it goes up from there. And I don't know how you change your playing style, because that is the thing that got you there. I don't know how you change that this early. But on the other side, I have just no idea what to think about JJ McCarthy. I don't know. 1 week, JJ McCarthy looks like he could be the future. 1 week, he looks like he has no idea what he's doing in the NFL, and Michigan was just hiding him, among other stuff.
He needs reps.
I have no idea what to think, because it seems like this game should be a foregone conclusion, but I feel like it's only close with that 2.5 line because Vegas don't know what to think about JJ McCarthy either.
I don't know what to think. I just know that I think the Vikings had the best chance of winning with JJ McCarthy. I said that last week against the Cowboys.
Yeah, and they did.
And that was
just one of the games where he balled out.
Yeah, that's just what it is. And he gritty into the end zone. But Minnesota's going to win. I think it's going to go over, because the Giants have scored points, and Minnesota, I think, is just going to score a ton of points.
Yeah. Boy, another meaningless game. New York, unless you have fantasy football or you tossing this somewhere into your parlay. New York Jets versus New Orleans Saints. Saints favored by 6.5. I don't know what it is.
$14 tickets. That's what it is.
Why have the Saints beaten 2 NFC South rivals who desperately need these games for playoff positioning in back-to-back
rivalry
weeks?
Games doesn't matter what your record is.
They beat the Bucks, and
you do know the Dolphins are going to beat the Patriots, right? And it's going to cause Buffalo to get the number 1, the division.
I do not know that.
Okay. You heard it here first, guys.
There's not much deep dive you could do with the Jets.
Is Spencer
game.
Rattler still the starting quarterback?
No, it's Tyler. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I was like to say, because I was like, if he's the quarterback, they're not winning.
It's Tyler Shaw. Tyler Shock.
Shock, I think it is.
Yeah, look at how that is spelled. There's no way they could convince me that's Shock. It can't be Shock.
Show?
That's what I call him.
Anyways, I think the Saints win this game.
Yeah, I'm going Saints here as well.
The Jets, when they lost to the Dolphins and they got blown out by the Dolphins, I consider the season done.
I think this is the game that I am going to want to see more than any other one in this 4 o'clock hour. Jacksonville Jaguars facing the Denver Broncos. Broncos favored by 3 at home.
So this is a must-win for the Broncos.
We've been saying this since they had like 7 or 8 wins.
But this is a must-win because if they win this, I don't know if they wrap up the number 1 seed, but they have to win every game in order to just get the number 1 seed.
And we still don't know how good they are.
No.
But I feel like you know what we being unfair.
They're good enough to beat who they have to beat, right?
We gotta be fair because that win against the Packers last week
that was a good win. That was a
really good win.
No, RJ Harvey.
They've had games where they've won in all kind of ways. The trap games, and that's actually a mark of a good team. The trap games that they should have lost, like the one against the Commanders, the high scoring games, they find a way to win no matter what the game flow is. They come out on top.
Crazier. The Broncos or the Oklahoma City Thunder only having 2 losses?
The Broncos.
Yeah.
The Broncos. Because
no one expected it.
If you had told me before the season Bo Nix was going to be doing this, I'd have been like, you got to be out of your mind.
Yeah, so Denver's favored by 3.5, 47.5. I think it's going to go under 47.5. Ooh. I think it's going to be around like 45. You remember, they're good at doing these lines.
Yeah.
But I do have the Broncos winning the game and RJ Harvey catching the game-winning touchdown.
Jaguars been looking good. Ever since the Jaguars...
I get they've been looking good, but the Broncos been good too.
Yeah, the Broncos been the best in the AFC. Ever since they figured out what to do with the receiver position, Trevor Lawrence has looked like the Trevor Lawrence you thought he would be coming out of Clemson. So they thought Brian Thomas was the guy. That didn't seem like it was going to be working. And right before Travis Hunter got hurt, they made the announcement that he was going to be a bigger part of the offense. He went down, made the trade for Jacoby Myers. Since the trade for Jacoby Myers, Trevor Lawrence has been like, I got a guy.
I know someone.
I know a wide receiver one I could rely on. And it seems like it changed the complete complexion of that team. And then having a chalk win last week where you could put up some big points, I don't know, it changes things, man. I think the Jaguars take this one on the road. I'm taking Jaguars in this one.
No, I'm not going that far.
Another meaningless game. Atlanta Falcons, Arizona Cardinals.
$12 tickets.
Falcons favored by 3.
You know what the thing is with this? I need Kyle Pitts to have a big game.
You know what? This is actually, I take that back when I said this is a meaningless game. This is not a meaningless game. This game means so much, and it means so much for fantasy implications because they have 2 players that I feel like are owned by so many teams. Kyle Pitts and Trey McBride.
Mm-hmm. You think Drake London would do anything this week? He's back, apparently.
You need him.
I mean, I'm not in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
My playoffs finished last week.
Yeah, you.
So I'm straight. I moved through to the last round that I don't care anymore.
You've done your job. Well done. So it don't matter for you if Drake London ball or not anyway. I'm taking the Falcons in this one. I think Kirk Cousins has found the rhythm. You know what's funny? Kirk Cousins finding the rhythm with Kyle Pitts is the same as on the other side with Jacoby Brissett and Trey McBride because Trey McBride has broken like pretty much every tight end record this year. You know, if more quarterbacks did that, I think the NFL would be an easy league to play in. Yeah, I got this one guy who's really good. Let me just throw him the ball like
Travis
30
Kelce?
times. Yeah, let me do that.
I mean, the Patriots at one time had 2 great tight ends. But yeah, I think the Falcons are going to win this game. The Cardinals are just done as well. Like they're trying to get a great draft pick.
Time to go to vacation, dog. Like the wives and the girlfriends need to be planning because, That's about it. Like, we could take these hits.
How
for these
mad
next
do you
couple of
think they
weeks.
are that they have that extra game to play now?
Livid. Because at this point in the season, you ain't got nothing else to play for. Like you say, unless you going in there and you balling for them incentives, bro, it's in the pocket in. Like, I ready to go somewhere warm. I mean, they live in Arizona, but I ready to go somewhere
It's get
tropical.
colder, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's time for them to go somewhere tropical.
I'm gonna find the weather stuff for you right now so you can see exactly. I'm gonna read some numbers for you, and then you're gonna tell me how you feel.
Cold. Let's move on. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Detroit Lions. Detroit favored
it's
by
not too bad.
7 at home. Total on this game 51.5, and that is because the Lions score so much. I think the Lions blow the Steelers away. I think they cover this 7. The Lions,
I think they cover and they go over.
yeah, the Lions offense is dynamic. Aaron Rodgers dinks and dunks at this point. That will work against.
Realistically, they barely beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, that I was about to say that'll work against the Dolphins. That ain't working against pretty much any other good team.
It looks like
that.
the AFC North winner is gonna go in with a losing record.
As long as the Ravens are in,
Oh no!
I could take that. Just give Lamar all he needs.
I think the Lions are gonna win. Jared Goff, they need this win more than anything right now because it's crazy how they go from what they were last year to this year.
Yeah,
And it's like, that's why you have to hit the opportunity sometimes because you just never know what's going to happen.
football is so strange, which is why I don't even understand why people in Philadelphia are so mad at the Eagles. Y'all always there for the last 3 years. Y'all just been there. Do you know how rare that is in football?
Well, Miami could say, hey, we're in the playoffs.
Always in the conversations. You always sniffing around
Couple
the
Super Bowls sneak in there.
You lose one, you win one. Be happy.
They win two in a matter of 10 years.
Spoiled. Don't run with Nick Foles. Spoiled. Las Vegas Raiders, Houston Texans. Oh, my correction. This is the biggest line of the week. Now, the Raiders ready to go and plan vacations.
Oh, yeah.
Their significant others should be planning everything and Pete Carroll should be planning a way to get out of this mess. I don't even know. Forget this game. I don't even know where this franchise is supposed to be moving forward.
I was asking yesterday, how the hell is he still a coach in the NFL?
Oh, why?
Oh, exactly. It's like there are other people who I could take the Raiders to 2-12.
Yeah.
And I could do it
Yeah.
for a quarter of what y'all paying Pete Carroll. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing where I always find it crazy that sometimes people just don't know when to hang it up, right? And this isn't talking about it's just, I feel like this is going to be something they're going to try to go to Nick Saban after this season and try to get another old guy in.
I don't know. My question always is how deep is Tom Brady's involvement in whatever his role is with the Raiders? Because you think he's trying to get back on the field?
But he can't be trying to fill it. Do you think he saw Phillip Rivers and said,
John, of course he
hold
did.
on a second. You could come back like that?
Of course he did.
You think he needs insurance?
Of course he did. Tom Brady 100% saw that. You know what made him say this is doable? Because Phillip Rivers wasn't that bad.
No.
So right away, Brady was like, well, if I was better than him our whole lives when we were in our prime, and he did that, and look at him, he's out of shape. I could 100% do this.
And he got 45 children.
And he got 45 children, came back for the insurance, spin the block on the insurance. Maybe that's the only move the Raiders can make to be interesting. The Ashton Genty pick, I mean, I don't even know how we could grade him yet. We can't. I hope it doesn't turn out like the Trent Richardson thing. And then Jacoby Myers left in the trade. I don't know. I don't know where this franchise goes. I know they're about to get the break speed off of them by the Texans.
Look, CJ Stroud, right? Is going to win this game.
And the Texans defense is so good.
And he's going to win this game by more than 14.5 points.
Ooh, you think they cover that? You think they cover that? Yeah, the Raiders ain't gonna.
But I think they win him by 28.
Double it.
I think it's to the point where it's the only way they go over is if they score 35 points, the Texans. If not, it's going under. But I think they have a point to prove to Texans because they're still in the playoff race. They're still in the division race. And they're going to do what they can. Because if it goes by what I'm saying and Jacksonville loses, then the Texans there. Then all of a sudden they have a tied record, right? Mm-hmm. And the way the NFL does the schedule, they got the Chargers and the Colts. But did they beat the Jaguars? They lost to... So they're 1-1 against the Jaguars this season. So I don't know how too much math right now to try to get a tiebreaker.
Yeah, way too much math right now.
But CJ Stroud is just gonna wait. Houston, dog.
Perfect. Sunday night football. I am going to be afraid of this game all day. Baltimore Ravens hosting the New England Patriots. Ravens favored by 3. Baltimore, every game these last few weeks, every game is a must-win situation. I just want Lamar to look like the Lamar that I expect, like the Lamar that I need. I need Zay Flowers to have the game that he had last week. I need the momentum from that Bengals game to reaffirm in this organization what they are supposed to be. I need Derrick Henry to activate it. Most of all, I need that defense to not allow Drake May to think he's in some MVP conversation. There's no room for error, Baltimore Ravens. Like, you got to win right now. Does Ray Lewis need to come back? Does he have to give speeches? Does Terrell Suggs need to come back?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
Ed Reed? Okay, go ahead.
Ed Reed, though. He's nasty. Baltimore's favored by 3.
Yeah.
49.5 points. I don't know where the points are coming from. That's the problem. Like, I could tell you just by seeing football this year, the Patriots are good for 24 points, right? Can the Ravens get 25?
Yes.
Can the Ravens get 25 points
Yes.
in 34-degree weather
Yes, absolutely.
with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry not being up to par?
Let me tell you something. This next stretch over the next few games is what Derrick Henry came here for. Because you could have still been in Tennessee doing whatever you was doing. You came here to win these cold weather games. You came here because these games...
He was fumbling in warm weather. What do you think cold weather could do?
You came here because these games when Lamar Jackson is either out or not up to playing like the Lamar MVP level Lamar he's supposed to be, you came here to carry the load offensively. So you know what I can need you to do, Derrick Henry? I need you to carry the load offensively. 100 yards last week against the Bengals on the dot.
This sounds more like a plea than a...
It is. No touchdowns last week. I need you to fix that because also fantasy football purposes. But I think we got this. I think the Ravens win. As a matter of fact, I think the Ravens win out. So for the next 3 weeks, y'all can hear me say, I think we got this. Every week, Lamar has an opportunity for more treatment, and I don't know if he just refusing the good stuff that he needs, but I need you to, whatever Patrick Mahomes did halftime of that Super Bowl against the Eagles 2 years ago, get some of that. Baltimore wins.
I would love Baltimore to win. But when I'm looking at the lesser of two evils in my life, if Baltimore wins and Buffalo wins, then that means I get to hear Buffalo fans. And I ain't in the mood of hearing no Buffalo fans. I've seen the Patriots win enough in my lifetime not to care. So I think the Patriots are going to score 24 points. The Ravens are going to score 13 points. And this game is going to be under. And this pretty much eliminates them from the playoffs.
That's fine. I like when nobody believes in us and my back against the wall. You know what's crazy? If your scenario plays out, this means I have to watch a playoff for the first time in God knows how long without Patrick Mahomes and without Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. What sort of playoffs is that? I can't watch that level of football.
The new school playoffs.
No new school. I need to have at least Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. I cannot be without both of them. I would not watch the playoffs. I would not.
Yeah, right.
I would not watch it a lot. I'd watch it like a little
You
bit.
would be right there.
Oh, we have
on
to,
the Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook.
we have to do this
Making your bets.
as a job. So yes, all right, I'll watch. I will watch begrudgingly if I don't have Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes.
But you know, okay, let's be real before we get into the last game. You're going to look at it, right?
Last game.
And you're going to be like, you're going to turn back to but football fun again.
It has been so fun.
It's
this
fun
season.
when you don't have a horse in the race.
I just got a new horse. You can't tell me.
And the second you got the horse, it ain't no Jokic
the
horse.
horse still running. So I still
Barely.
have a chance. I still have a chance with the
This
Ravens.
this horse barely running. They about to. What happens when a horse breaks their leg or something?
don't
You got to
do
put it down.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's you picking football teams.
Monday Night Football. Shout
The
out
Colts
to
are going to the.
I wish we could play the voice note. You know what? We could just beep it out.
No.
Monday Night Football. Shout out to Pratt. Shout out to Andrew. The Indianapolis Colts on life support at this point. Clinging by a thread, by the slimmest of margins. Hosting the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers favorite by 5.5. Total 46.5. Colts are done. There will be no Phillip Rivers Disney story. He was slightly below average last week. That stock will plummet this week. He will be terrible. The 49ers will feast. They will cover. They win this by like 2 touchdowns.
I think that the Colts will get washed this game.
But I'm taking props on, overs on Jonathan Taylor though, because they have to.
They
feed
have
him
to
like
run the
40
ball. No,
times.
they have to run the ball.
So Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown for sure.
This is a game, and I hate to say it, Phillip Rivers might die. Because the 49ers defense is no joke. Like,
we do not want Phillip
I
Rivers
don't want him to.
be unalive on the field.
Thankfully, he has that insurance policy
That's
now.
some good insurance.
But I just see the 49ers, because with the Seahawks winning, with the Rams right there, they have to keep pace.
Yeah.
And the only thing they can do to keep pace is to win. This is a must
Is
win.
murder Phillip Rivers?
Yeah. It's a must win, because then the last 2 games of the season is the Bears and the Seahawks. So their schedule
Oh, you
is,
ain't winning them games.
their schedule is stacked. And if they have a chance to play because they already beat the Seahawks once.
You ain't doing
If
it
they
again.
have a chance to beat them again and have the tiebreak and win the division, that's what they want to do. That's what they need. So Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, same quarterback, just with different numbers.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Purdy been looking like I'm not relinquishing this job. By the way, Mac Jones should probably be earning a lot of looks for next season. There's a lot of teams that be looking
Dolphins?
for a quarterback. I was about to say, y'all need one.
We need more than just a quarterback.
Been needing
We
a
need-
quarterback ever since 62-7 against the Jaguars. They've been needing a quarterback ever since. That has literally never stopped for the Dolphins. Y'all got it though.
So we have a couple minutes left, and I think we need to bring this up. It's very important in
It
the
is very
world.
important. Go ahead.
John Cena retired from WWE.
Let me ask you something, because I've been out of the wrestling loop for a
Oh,
while.
me too, but I'm just saying John Cena.
I'm happy that John Cena retired because Peacemaker is my favorite show, and I feel like he should dedicate all his time to doing as much Peacemaker as possible.
So what I like about John Cena is he realized the time was now. He realized that, you're going to have to hang it up, and he's at peace with it.
Most wrestlers never realize that, by the way.
No.
Like, even when they're not at the top level, like WWE or AEW, they're trudging around in one of these little regional shows or something like that. They never stop doing
So
this.
the way he lost was by tap out?
Yeah, the Gunther.
Yeah. But he's always said you have to give it to the young generation at the end of the day. And I feel like even in sports, you rarely see athletes do that.
What if, but because see, that's wrestling tradition, right? What if Bahamian politics worked the way wrestling worked and you had to tap out? Because they call it putting over, right?
They're
You
supposed
are
to tap out though, but they don't.
You're supposed to make the new upcoming star. You're supposed to give him that bump in credibility and notoriety. So it's like Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. Like after that, then he became the Hulk Hogan we know. You know who never got to have this though, and this is part of the reason why me and wrestling fell out. Bret Hart never got to have this.
No.
And to this day, I will never forgive Vince McMahon because Bret Hart never got to have the storybook ending that John Cena has. But also, Bret Hart doesn't have a show as good as Peacemaker, so it is what it is.
Shout out to John Cena, but you can't see us now. Well, you could have never seen us because this is a audio.
Because this is an audio medium. You can never see us, but you will see us in 2026. That'll do it for this episode of The Accredited. That'll do it for 2025. Y'all be safe.
This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.